Hello YouTubers, and we are back by the river for a little bit of a chat. So we have seat racing happening this week, finished one day today, and it'll be going ahead throughout the week, and depending on how many races the coaches want to do will depend on how many days of seat racing there will be. So to make sure while we're at Dorney doing some seat racing, there won't be a lot of filming just because I don't want to be a distraction to the other guys or a distraction to myself with putting the camera on and off the boats and making sure the mounts are in the right place and all that. So not a lot of rowing footage until seat racing is finished. So more chats like we did last week about what was going on post trials by the river. So what we're talking about today, well, since there's seat racing going on, we're talking about that. So there's plenty of things to talk about, which I'll probably put in a few videos over the week as we do the seat racing. And I think I'm going to start with what it's like to race your friends, because that's kind of the biggest or the most asked question when you say you're going to do some seat racing, and then you say, oh, it's against the people within your group of people you train with. So it wasn't really a thing for me when I was in the States at uni, because we, every single day, or almost every single day until racing season, you'd be in pretty much different boats with different people. So the entire group of, I think it was 40 athletes roughly at my university, you would row with them all, and you'd be switching in and out of boats so often that there was no sort of, there just wasn't something where, oh, I'm racing my friend sort of thing. So when I moved back here, moved to Henley and raced and trained at Leander Club, people started asking, what's it like to seat race against your friends? What's it like to just be side by side with the people you've been training with all year? And it's a difficult question to answer really, because the racing itself is obviously the same. It's wherever the seat racing is, say it can be anything from covering up to 2k across a course, 1k, 1500, 500, depending on what the coach thinks. But the race itself, side by side, is the same no matter who is in the boat. But what makes it difficult is the fact that you're racing people that you've been training with all year and almost trying to improve them the whole year, and then you get to a stage where you're seat racing them and you almost want to stop that completely, and you're saying, okay, now I want to, I'm going to row as fast as I can, and hopefully they don't row as fast as they can. So it's a bit of a weird one, and also whether it's a win or lose for you and your friend, it's never sort of easy to sort of be. So you get off the water, you've won against them or you've lost against them, and you both kind of, like, if you beat your friend, it's okay, I'm sorry, I beat you, but I'm not sorry because I beat you. So it's all the seat racing for us is to help the coaches get a ranking and select crews for the summer racing. But it's just very difficult when you know people for so long, you train with them for so long, and then you're in fours quite consistently, or you're in pairs quite consistently, or you're in eights quite consistently, or even, for example, Ed is a bowsider, I'm a bowsider, you've got Charlie Witt-Roberts and Barney Stenford in bowside, to name a few. And so Ed and I were in the same room at Bagnoles on training camp, and now it's instead of, oh, let's walk down to the shop, grab some snacks in the afternoon, it's tomorrow where we might race each other and we might try and knock 8 bells out each other. So it's a bit of a strange one, but it is sort of, you have to do it. You have to be able to figure out who moves the boats best, and the seat racing is one of the best ways to do it. So a very simple chat out here. The sun isn't quite fully out, a little bit cloudy by the river, very peaceful day, and now it is all about recovering, getting some food in, because food is fuel. A lot of food, a lot of carbs to replenish anything, or to try and replenish anything that I've just depleted today. We did a lot of runs, and it's all the pieces that you do, all the runs that you do are flat out because you want to get the fastest speed. So there's no sort of easy run here, easy run there, you get to the finish line and you're pretty cooked by the first one, and so you've got however many more, and it can be tough. But that, I think, we might talk about that tomorrow, sort of what is seat racing itself, probably depending on how the results go through the week as well. I might just have a short chat, might have a long chat, but it always helps me just to talk to the camera, get some thoughts out, and then focus on the next day. That's become sort of a thing that I'm doing, just talking to the camera itself, talking to the Yam squad, and it's just a sort of emptying of the mind for me. So thank you very much, Yam squad, for helping me empty my mind and helping me focus on to the next day. But like I said, fueling up and recovery is very key today, so that there is the least amount of effect from today onto tomorrow's seat racing. So we don't know the seat racing that's going to happen. We go to Dorney, the coaches put out crews and then make some switches after the first race. But we'll be talking about the seat racing overall probably tomorrow, and sort of maybe tips and whatnot maybe the next day, or depending on what happens. But let me know what you would be interested in hearing about for seat racing itself. Definitely have a few tips, and definitely I think there's a lot of people that aren't quite sure what I mean when I say seat racing, but I've been talking for long enough. And as always, Yam Squad, remember to subscribe if you haven't already. If you've made it this far, thank you very much into the video. Hit that like button and have a good one. I will see you tomorrow. We're talking